After spending a month in Sri Lanka, we felt like we belonged in this stunning island country. Here, there's so much natural beauty, culturally and spiritually rich places, friendly people, vibrant nightlife, great food, and so much more. We wanted to thank our viewers for watching our Sri Lanka travel series. We had a great time visiting the country and an even better one putting it all together in these videos. We are also thankful to be able to work and travel together, which allowed us to actually stay in one destination for a long period of time and explore the offbeat local side of the country at our own pace. But wait a minute, we still have to give you all the practical information like how to get your visas done, or flight options, or the best time to visit Sri Lanka.
Hi, I am Aman,
And I am Sam.
and in this video we will share all the information that you need for Sri Lanka.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. So before we jump into this video, we just want to say that we had an amazing time in Sri Lanka, traveling, shooting and creating these videos. We both have been traveling for the past 4 years, but the inception of this channel, it's pretty new. And I think,
Sam is our speaker. I'm a little camera shy.
yeah. So Aman usually handles all of our editing, shooting, everything back end. And we're very excited to take you on this journey with us. So let's go.
So first, let's talk about visa process for Sri Lanka.
So we are Indian passport holders, and for us travel to Sri Lanka is visa free. But we need to fill out something called the ETA, which is the Electronic Travel Authorization. Electronic Travel Authorization. So we need to fill it out, and this applies to a lot of other countries as well. And if you're watching, just make sure you go on Sri Lanka's official website and check out what are the rules that are applicable for your country. So please make sure you check that before you start applying for visa.
And another thing that you should definitely take care of is Sri Lanka doesn't allow any visitor to be in Sri Lanka for more than 30 days. So it is important for you to check before you go for what is applicable for your country. And
for us, like when we applied, we got ETA from their the link to ETA from their official website, and we'll drop it in the description below, so you can click on it and you can go to the same website. All you need to do is go to the form, fill it out. You'll have to fill out your passport details, your date of departure, and the number of days you're staying. So you will have to fill in the number of days, like we filled 30 days, and they only give visa for 30 days. So if we fill 31 days, you will not get visa. In fact, we met a couple of people there from UK, Germany, and Australia, and all of them said the same thing, that they were also given a 30-day time period at one stretch to stay in Sri Lanka. And if they wanted to extend, they exited, paid another small amount or some particular fee, and then they came back to Sri Lanka if they wanted to continue staying. Number 2, best time to visit Sri Lanka. So the first and foremost thing you need to know is that Sri Lanka is a country that you can visit year-round. So you need to first decide where you're planning to go, and only then you can decide the timing of visiting Sri Lanka. So 2 things heavily dictate travel to Sri Lanka. One is the southwest monsoons, which are from May to September. And the second one are the northeastern monsoons, which are from October to March. The northeast monsoons, they affect the eastern coast and also northern areas like Jaffna, etc.
so the southwest monsoons, they affect the southern and the western belt of the island country. Places like Colombo, Galle, Unawatuna, Ahanagama, Weligama, Mirissa, they witness the off-season from May to September. But the best time to visit south and the southwest coast is from October to March, when the monsoons are over.
So during the southwest monsoons, the eastern coast of Sri Lanka is bright and sunny. So places like Arugam Bay, Trincomalee, they are at their peak season during this time. So the best time to visit the eastern coast of Sri Lanka is from May to September. So coming to the non-coastal parts of Sri Lanka, the central highlands, they constitute places like Ella, Nuwara Eliya, Kandy. So these places are good to visit year-round. They also get rains similar to the southwest monsoons. So if you like monsoons and you want to see, like, lush greenery and nice waterfalls, then visit these areas from May to September. And if you want to go here in non-monsoon times, then you can visit in the dry season, which is from October to March.
So there is one more place that you would like to visit, that is Yala National Park. It is usually open all year round, but around 6 weeks of time it's closed. That is around September and October. It is a very good place that you should definitely do not miss. So number 3, flight option. So there are 2 international airports in Sri Lanka. One is Bandaranaike International Airport, which is near Colombo, 45 minutes from Colombo, and there is another airport called Jaffna International Airport, which is a smaller airport which is connected only from India, a couple of cities from India, and the rest of the flights from all the international travelers can come to Bandaranaike International Airport.
So we took a 2.5-hour direct flight to Bandaranaike International Airport from Mumbai, and it costed us 18,000 Indian rupees per person round trip. That is around $200. Number 4, currency exchange. So the currency used in Sri Lanka is Sri Lankan rupees, and you can very easily use your normal debit card or credit card to withdraw money in Sri Lanka itself. So People's Bank and Bank of Ceylon are 2 banks which will not charge you any transaction fees when you withdraw money from the ATM. We did that. We did not take any cash, any currency, Sri Lankan currency from India. But as soon as we landed in Bandaranaike International Airport, we found Bank of Ceylon as we exited out, and we withdrew from there without any transaction fee. These banks are everywhere. You can find these banks across Sri Lanka, and they are quite a blessing.
Number 5, local SIM and internet. So internet connectivity in Sri Lanka could be patchy, especially if you're working like we did.
Yeah.
We required good internet. So one of the key things that we did was, while we booked our places, we checked and double checked with them whether they have a good Wi-Fi. When we landed on the airport, there are several companies which have put across booths which provide tourist SIM cards for your for better internet. One of the brands
we used was Dialog.
Was Dialog, which offered us good high internet speed for about 3200 LKR. And they have several options, or like I would say offers or packages of sorts. They would offer it for 10 days, 15 days and a month.
Yeah, depends on how long you are staying. If you are staying for a week, you can check out offers that are for 7 days. So apart from that, like I got this Dialog SIM from airport. Aman took an international plan from India itself, from our home country. We took the international plan that costed him 3,000 INR, Indian rupees, which is a little more expensive than the Dialog plan, but it was pretty good. He got pretty good connectivity everywhere. So you have both options that you can choose. You can either get a local SIM in Sri Lanka, or you can take an international plan from your home country. Both work.
Right.
Number 6, commuting within Sri Lanka. So once you've reached Sri Lanka, how do you travel within the country? So a lot of people come for a week and they hire a taxi, take a cab package, which is great, and you can do that if you have less time. But if you have more time and you would like to go a little local, then Sri Lanka has some really good public transit options as well. All the popular destinations in Sri Lanka, they are well connected by train, and you can purchase your train ticket online from the Sri Lanka railway website. We will drop a link in the description below. You can also go to the railway station, inquire and purchase the ticket right then and there. We did that a lot in our month-long Sri Lanka travel. And trains are very reasonable in Sri Lanka. Trains are very scenic also in Sri Lanka. They're really beautiful and cute. In fact, if you want to have a nice experience, we would definitely recommend you to try the Kandy to Ella iconic Sri Lankan train. Or also you can try the other trains which go via the coast, especially Galukumari Express, which goes from Colombo down south. Overall, the train experiences are very nice in Sri Lanka, and it's a must try.
So apart from trains, there are options for buses which are available for commuting across the country. The only challenge what we found in traveling by bus was they are not directly connected. Either you have to get down at one place and then take another bus and go to another city. So when we found that, we decided to started to think about taking a
Yeah.
ride share option. So we joined Facebook groups which has options of ride sharing,
Yeah.
and luckily we got connected with one of the wonderful person who gave us an option, a discounted price, a very reasonable discounted
Yeah. For
price
taxi.
for taxi
Yeah.
from traveling from point A to point B. We will drop that link as well in our description. If you see Sri Lanka as a whole, the island is surrounded by coast, and the central part is the terrain. So whenever you're traveling by public transport, you are either to you'll either find the coast on one side and the mountains on the other side. So it's always scenic when you're traveling
Yeah.
by any of the transport. When you reach a particular place and you want to explore that place, there are several options that you could have while like exploring the place. Either you could rent a bike, you could rent a tuk-tuk. Tuk-tuks are a thing in Sri Lanka. Uh, One of the things that you need to do is get a international driving license from your home country. If you have an international license and once you land in Sri Lanka, you will be able to do that conversion of getting a Sri Lankan permit on the airport itself. I do not know right now whether they have started this facility immediately, but the news is out. It will be out soon. The other part of where you are renting a bike, bikes are readily available. You could get there are several people on the streets who would provide you bikes for rent.
Yeah.
The prices usually range from 2000 Sri Lankan rupees to about 3000 Sri Lankan rupees. You will have a scope here, a little negotiation scope where you could do that.
Yeah, we did that.
We did that.
You have it at your own disposal. That's the best part
That's
about
the best
it.
part
You can just
about
keep
it.
the bike for the day, and if you want to go out, it's at your comforts.
Yeah.
Number 7, local culture and diversity. So Sri Lanka is a land of diversity, not just in terms of the landscape and the nature, but even in terms of the people and the religious beliefs that they carry. So majority of the people are Sinhalese. They follow Buddhism. Some of them also follow Christianity and other faiths. Alongside the Sinhalese people, there are the Tamil Sri Lankan people. Predominantly, they are Hindus. But some of them also follow Christianity, Islam, and other faiths.
And the most popular greeting in Sri Lanka is Ayubowan, which means may you live long. And
Yeah.
It's good to greet them with that. We had a very good time when we spoke their language. The warmth, the kind of warmth that they gave us was incredible. And another term is Tuti, which means thank you. And so it's
Yeah.
good that you appreciate something when you are there and speak their language. They love it.
So there are 2 very important Buddhist festivals in Sri Lanka. One is called as Vesak, which is a huge festival. It actually marks the entire life cycle of Buddha and it celebrates it. And the second one is called as Poson, which commemorates the arrival of Buddhism in Sri Lanka. It's a very interesting thing. The day we landed in Sri Lanka, it was the day of Poson. So the minute we landed, we were not aware of this festival. But when we sat in the taxi, the cab guy, he told us that it's the day of Poson today, and the shops were closed. Everything was shut. Especially, it's a very pious day, so meat and alcohol is completely banned that one particular day. But other than that, we could see a nice vibrancy on the streets. People, what they do is they cook food from their houses, like desserts, snacks, just general food like rice and curry, and they put up booths or stalls in different streets across the country actually. So we would see these big stalls set up and people distributing free food for everybody. So this is a kind of a way of sharing that love and peace with everybody around. And we were very happy because as soon as we reached Sri Lanka, we got free food and we got to be a part of this beautiful celebration. So that was an experience which was something we would remember for a lifetime.
Number 8, emergency and healthcare. So for safety and security of the tourists, the Sri Lankan police have a specialized division called Tourist Police. For that, they have provided this particular hotline number.
So when it comes to healthcare, we highly recommend you to travel to Sri Lanka with some travel insurance. It's always good to keep it in your back pocket for emergencies. Now you need to be careful of 2 main things in Sri Lanka. One is mosquito-borne diseases. because it's an island country, and the second is the waterborne diseases. So just make sure you use mosquito repellents. Just make sure you don't drink tap water, and from your home country also carry basics like basic medical kit. So that's some key information that we thought that you might require when you plan your Sri Lanka trip. Now we'll just take you through our itinerary quickly. A month-long journey across Sri Lanka that we did. We'll just touch upon the places that we visited to give you a better understanding of our entire plan that we made. We started our journey once we landed in Bandaranaike International Airport. We went to Mount Lavinia, which is just 10 kilometers south of Colombo. So it's very near Colombo. It was a great place for us to start, nice residential place Mount Lavinia was. We stayed there for a few days, and from Mount Lavinia, we moved down south and stayed for a week in South Sri Lanka. We experienced the monsoons in South Sri Lanka, which was amazing, very different vibe. We touched upon Veligama, Anagama, Gaul, Mirissa, Matara. We checked out all these places in a week, rented a scooter, went everywhere. It was absolutely lovely. From South Sri Lanka, we still in the south, but slightly towards the east, we moved to Hirikitiya, stayed for 2-3 days in Hirikitiya. Beautiful place, absolutely stunning coastline of Hirikitiya, great for surfing.
Absolutely.
Right? Aman also decided that he'll try his hand at surfing, but yeah, it's a great place to check out some really good seafood, great vibes. From Hirikitiya, we moved east. Then we went to the eastern coast of Sri Lanka, starting with Arugambay. Arugambay was a great party place, great for surfing.
It's a surfing town.
Surfing town, a party town. We met a lot of people there. We stayed in hostel, and if you're into backpacking and into that kind of a hostel vibe, kind of a trip, then you must visit Arugambay during the peak season. We did 4 to 5 days in Arugambay, and from the eastern coast we moved to Ella, which is the Central Highlands. Then we got a little tired of the this was what 2.5 weeks into our trip, so we got a little tired of the heat and the coastal vibes. So we were like, now we are going to get some nice hilly, pleasant vibes going on. So we went to Ella. We stayed in Ella for a week. I think one of the best places in Sri Lanka, hands down for us. The best place in Sri Lanka for us. Ella was beautiful, filled with nature, mountains, a lot of adventure sports if you're into zip line and rock climbing. And also Ella's got a great nightlife, a very good vibe going on. You'll meet people from across the globe. We were in Ella for a week. We met a lot of locals in Ella. That too, I think it was wonderful. You should check out our video for Ella. From Ella, we moved to Nuwara Eliya, another very cold place. In fact, it's one of the coolest places in Sri Lanka. Yeah, so we went to Nuwara Eliya, stayed there for another few days. From Nuwara Eliya, we went to Kandy. Kandy was a beautiful experience for us. We stayed with our family friends. They showed us around. We had a great time with them over conversations and food. Kandy was also a great place for us to explore the spiritual side of Sri Lanka. We visited some really beautiful places like the Tooth Relic Temple and other places in Kandy. From Kandy, we moved to the northeast side of Sri Lanka, which is Trincomalee, northeast coast of Sri Lanka. On the way to Trincomalee, we visited this place called Dambulla Cave Temple, largest cave temple in Sri Lanka, must visit definitely. Trincomalee was our last stop in our month-long Sri Lanka travel. In Trincomalee, we spent a few days. Again, Trincomalee is absolutely untouched. We went in the on season itself, but there was hardly any crowd. The waters are pristine, white sand, and because it's not very known, that's why also it's really beautiful.
Absolutely.
The scenery was amazing over there. Very hot, but very beautiful. So that was it. From Trincomalee, we came back to took the flight, stayed in Negombo near the airport for a night, and we came back to Mumbai. So that was our overall itinerary for our month-long Sri Lanka adventure, and we can't tell you how much we enjoyed the entire experience. We have created different videos for each of these places that I have mentioned. You can check them out in our Sri Lanka travel playlist. and we are very happy to receive so much love already coming in the form of comments and queries from a lot of you. So thank you so much for supporting us, and we really hope you've enjoyed watching our videos.
If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to drop in comments. We would love to answer that to you.
And of course, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. We will continue traveling and we'll bring you lots more local travel content.